So before we get started on the collar, and we're going to trim the rest of this out, um, go ahead and take your blue. And what we want to do is this is up to you. This is not in the pattern. I do not like putting in a separate color in an unfinished edge. It looks terrible. Um, but sometimes it'll make the project too big. So that's going to be kind of up to you guys. I am going to do it two ways, and I will show you the difference of the one that's already done that doesn't have the trim around it in the same color, and then what it'll look like when the yellow is done. So if you guys want to compare, fast forward, or whatever it is. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and trim the whole outside of this in my blue. I'm going to put 3 stitches in all my corners. And I'm going to skip this corner stitch here. So I'm going to go right into this one and then move over to this one. So that creates 1 stitch right in here. Okay, so I'm going to meet you guys at the end of that. Okay, I'm back with my single crochet round around. And so now what you guys need to do, we are going to have 26 stitches for our collar. So what your best thing to do is go ahead and like fold it in half and find where you think the middle is and count over 12 and 12 and put stitch markers. Now, so it doesn't confuse you, one part of this jacket lays outward and this part of this jacket lays inward. And that's because this one snaps over the top. This one goes over the top. So I thought I was losing my mind there for a while. That's the way the pattern is. So don't look at this part here. If you guys can see where I kind of have placed my stitch markers, whether you guys did the 1 round of single crochets or not, you need to do this. So because the very first one I did, I kept having to move my collar over. Just look at the stitch marker itself, not the stitches or anything like that. Okay, I don't want you guys to get confused with the pattern going in and then out. And that's because it's like an actual jacket, even though you don't actually close it all the way. But anyway, go ahead and get that done. And then when we get back, we're going to go ahead and start with the collar and move on to the trim. So we will use the lighter yellow or the same yellow that you used to go down the trim of the pants. Okay. Okay, we are back. So what we're going to do, I'm going to do this a little bit different than the pattern as well, because it makes more sense. And we don't have so many tails to sew in. So we want to go ahead and open the jacket and start with the stitch marker on our right hand side. And let's go ahead and chain 1. Now what we want to do is we want to single crochet into the same stitch, tuck our yarn, okay? If you can get it right on top like that, it's perfect, but it has a tendency to want to fall back. That's actually quite hard to do, to get right on top, so just so you know. And then we're going to do a half double crochet. And then we want to do 22 double crochets across, and I will meet you at the end of 22 double crochets. Okay, and here's 22 double crochets. Then we're going to do a half double crochet, and if everything worked out correctly, we should be single crocheting in the stitch marker. Okay, chain 1, and let's turn our work. Now we want to repeat this exact same thing again. So single crochet, half, 22 doubles. Again, I will meet you guys back. Okay, and this is 22. A half goes on top of the half, and a single goes on top of a single. Now what we're going to do is we're going to proceed to keep single crocheting all the way around our jacket. And again, you want to do 3 stitches in the corners. You shouldn't have to do any extra stitches on the inside corners. at all. So I am going to get just a little ways here. I'm going to get to a spot that actually this side that we're doing right now was not a finished edge. So I'm just going to show you guys real quick before anybody who decided not to do the trim goes much further to see the difference in the jackets. Okay, move this out of the way. So here's the difference in how those look. This is the edge that we just trimmed out. Of course, did not have the row of single crochets in the blue. See, all of these jumpy things here are all camouflaged, and look how sharp and clean that looks. It just is such a nicer look. It's more professional. It just looks cleaner and sharper. So that way you guys can see the difference and can say, I don't care, I'm going to keep going on with what I'm doing. Or you can pull out your yellow and go back and do a round of blue. And you're going to see a big difference when it comes to this tail once we get down here as well, at how much sharper and crisper and cleaner it looks. Like I said, it puts a little bit of length to the project. But it's never actually been a concern. It's never bothered any of my projects. It'll just make the jacket a little bit wider, you know, in case you have a chubby baby. All right, so I'm going to meet you guys all the way around. When we get back up here, I'll show you guys a really sharp way to finish that off. You guys probably already know from my other videos or from earlier videos, and the pants. But we'll go ahead and do it again one more time. So I will see you guys in a while, and good luck. All right, here we are back around. Let's go ahead and cut our yarn and pull through. Then we'll go ahead and get our crocheting needle. So we're going to take this very first stitch of this round. Well, it's not really the first. You get my drift, though. We'll come in through the back. Whoops, second stitch. I'm sorry. Second stitch. Come in through the back. We're going to actually make one right on top of this one that's already there. And then go through the stitch that your yarn is coming out of and into the back bump. We're going to just get that nice and looking good before we go ahead and sew it in. Is that looking good? Looking pretty good. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and sew our ends in. And we will be moving onward to our arms. Good job, guys. Let me just one time, real quick, let me just pull this jacket over here. Just so one more time so you guys can see the difference. Good, bad. In fact, I'm so irritated that I'm going to cut this off and now I'm going to do this one. Now that I've showed you guys the comparison and how much sharper this looks going up the sides here. It's just really it's a huge difference in how great it looks. So, okay, I'll see you guys in a while. Good job. Okay, we are moving on to our sleeves. We are going to do, of course, 2 sleeves the exact same way. Go ahead and join your yarn down here at the bottom of the armpit. And chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in the same spot. We want to single crochet around. We want to have a total of 21 single crochets once we get back around. So that's going to let you know, I think you put 2 down here, if I remember correctly. So I have 20 here. And this is going to be very hard to get in camera, guys. There's a whole lot of flipping going on. And so we're supposed to have a total of 21. So I don't like this big gap. I know it might be hard for you guys to see. That's right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do single crochet 2 together. That way there will not be a gap. And I still will only have the 21 stitches that we need for the pattern, and that will eliminate that. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and slip stitch. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. This is how this pattern goes all the way down the sleeve, is turning the work, going back, turning the work. It is not that simple, but it keeps the sleeve from rolling on us. So now we need to do 3 rounds of 21 single crochets, chaining 1, turning our work, chaining 1, turning our work. And I will meet you guys back here when you're finished with your 3 rounds. Okay, we slip stitch, chain 1. And now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet, of course, right back into that stitch. And single crochet 8. Sorry if this thing once in a while gets out of whack here. Like I said, it's getting kind of big. And then we're going to single crochet 2 together. And we then single crochet 10. And 10. And slip stitch, chain 1, turn our work. So now we're down to 20 stitches. You're going to do 4 rounds of 20 stitches, chaining 1, turning your work, and I'll meet you back at the end of 4 rounds of 20 stitches. Okay, guys, we did our 4 rounds. Now we're going to, of course, chain 1, turn, single crochet in the first stitch. Then we're going to single crochet 7. We're going to single crochet 2 together, single crochet 8, and single crochet 2 together. Okay, and here we are. Slip stitch, chain 1, turn our work. Okay, we are now going to do 6 rounds of 18 stitches. And I will meet you guys back around at the end of 6 more rounds. Okay, see you soon. Okay, done with 6 rows. Very nice. Now what we're going to do is we are going to be working in the front loop only. And we are going to do 18 single crochets around front loop. And I'll meet you again when we're done. Okay, front loop only is completed. Chain 1, drop, slip stitch, chain 1, single crochet back in the same stitch, single crochet 2 more, so it'll be a total of 3 single crochets. Then we're going to go ahead and increase, single crochet 4, 4 and increase. Lots of twisting and twisting. Sorry if I get out of the picture here. Single crochet 3. And increase. And then single crochet 4 and increase at the end. I ran out of yarn, so I had to add some more yarn. That's what that little tail is right there, if you were wondering why you don't have it. All right. Slip stitch, chain 1, turn our work. Okay, single crochet back into the same stitch. Now a single crochet 9, which will be a total of 10. And then go ahead and increase. And then we're going to single crochet 10 and increase again at the end. And then we are going to go ahead and join. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this and do an invisible join. This really isn't going to be seen that much because it's folded back over. But it's a good habit to get into if you possibly can. And you guys have seen how to get this done. So I'm not going to show you. Okay, now we want to grab our light yellow one more time and bring that back into the picture. And then we're going to join this, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to slip stitch around. And that's just it's gonna look like stitching. It looks pretty cool once we fold the sleeve back. Okay, so we are just slip stitching around. And just slip stitch and slip stitching. Last stitch. Again, I'm going to go ahead and bind this and put this in invisible here, and I'll get my end sewn in. I'll come right back. Okay, thought I'd show you. So before you get too crazy about sewing your ends in, this sleeve is actually going to be folded over like this, and we're going to put the white cuff here at the end on that back loop is we're gonna attach it. So I don't want you guys to go sewing your ends in and it looks super sloppy thinking you can just, shove it in here. No one is going to see this good side. So that would be a great place for you to go ahead and sew your ends in, because it is going to be folded over. So now this looks like it's the right side of the sleeve, but since the sleeve is folded, I want to go ahead and here is where I'm going to go ahead and hide my yarn, because I don't want it showing on that other side that we're flipping over. Okay. Okay, there we are. We're folded over. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and attach our white to where this back loop was at here. And this is simple enough, so I will give you guys the instructions and kind of let you be on your way, and then let you do your other sleeve, and we'll come back and do the mock waistcoat that goes in between the jacket here. Okay, so what we do is we're going to go ahead and attach the yarn, and we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do 3 double crochets in this same stitch. And we are actually going to make 3 double crochets all the way around, and then into the next one, and then all we do is cut our yarn and hide it. And that's how we are doing our little ruffle here. Okay, guys, good luck, have fun. Go back and do the other sleeve, and we'll meet back here once we can get the waistcoat done. Almost there, guys. We're almost. Hang in there. You're doing a good job. Okay, we're back. We have both sleeves done. Everything's looking really good. So now we're going to do our mock waistcoat. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn it on its side. And we're doing the opposite side as the buttonholes. Your buttonholes, I think, should be on this side. Again, I didn't do buttonholes. Of course, the opposite side. And we're going to go, now we want to get the darker yellow or the mustard yellow. And I'm so sorry that my camera is making all these colors look terrible. I need to upgrade, but I need to make money, and that's not happened yet. So at some point we'll get there. We're going to start at the second chain from the bottom. So we're going to go, let's see, that's a bottom stitch. I'm going to go into this one here. Now, something that's nice to do when you're doing this third stitch, and if it's nice and tight like this trim is to go ahead and get a size, get a smaller hook, and we can start this first row on a smaller hook if you want, and then we'll jump up to the 6. So it'll be just a tad bit easier to get into that, mainly because it is trim, and we always do that single crochet so nice and tight. So from here, we're going to go ahead and chain 1, and we're going to single crochet back. We're doing this in that third stitch, the back loop of the trim. So that is working right here. We want that hidden there. And we're going to single crochet up for a total of 13 single crochets. So again, we're going to turn this. I know this is hard for you guys to see. And we're going to get that in that third stitch like that. I'm tucking my yarn. And we're going to go ahead and go across. Make them loose single crochets, because if you drop down a hook size, make them as very loose single crochets. And we're going to go ahead and go up. It's just because this third loop is so hard to grab. Something else you can do is grab your needle, your crochet needle, blunt end needle, and kind of stretch it each time you go. I'm trying to give you all the little hacks I can, because it's just not that easy, especially when it's trim. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys fight your third loop, back bump, whatever you want to call it. It's called several things, until you guys have 13 single crochets across, and I'll meet you here at the end. We're on our last bit. Here we go. We're going to chain 44 in white. We need a 5mm hook for the 0 to 3 months. We're moving to a 5mm hook, okay? And then we are going to chain 44. Sorry about that. And once we have chained 44 in the second chain from the hook, we're going to do half double crochets all the way back down. I am going to meet you at the end of your chain 44. Okay, we have chained 44 in our second chain from our hook. We are going to go ahead and half double crochet all the way down, totaling 43 half double crochets. And I will meet you at the end. Okay, I've made it down 43, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut my yarn and pull this through. Now what we need to do is we need to skip 16 stitches, and we'll join in the 17th stitch, but we are only going to be working in the back loop. So attach to the back loop only. Get my hands together here. We're going to chain one, we're going to single crochet back into that same stitch. Now this whole row is going to be back loop only. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 10 stitches. And 10. Very nice. Okay, then we're going to go ahead, so we should have 11 stitches total. We're going to chain one, we're going to turn our work. We're going to be working in both loops. So we're going to single crochet in all 11 single crochets. And 11, chain one, turn our work, back loop only, 11, chain one, turn our work. Now both loops, we're doing 11, chain one, back loop only. We're going to repeat this 2 more times. Now is the back loop. We're going to do the back loop, front loop, back loop, front loop. So 2 more sets, back loop, not front loop, I'm sorry, back loop, both loops, back loop, both loops, and I'll meet you back here at the end of, I guess it's 4 rounds, 2 sets. All right, here we go. I know we're on the home stretch, guys, I promise. I know it's killing me too. All right, so we did, this last row we did was both loops. Now we're going to work in both loops again, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the same spot, and double crochet, make 3 double crochets in each stitch Oh, 3 double crochets in the next stitch. I'm so sorry. And then a double crochet. Then repeat that. 3 double crochets. And a double crochet. And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and repeat that on all of these other 4 rows that we have here that have the front loop showing. So attach, chain up 2, double crochet, 3 double crochets, double crochet, 3 double crochets, and get this bad boy super poofy. It is easier to start at the bottom and move your way up. And then I'll meet you guys back here after however long it takes you. Okay, good luck. All right, so here's how we look. See, and then this buckles around the head. Now, you can either put a small button on here, or you can use the Velcro, which is what I'm going to use because you guys already know that Velcro is my friend. And I will also put a strip of Velcro here so that the jacket will attach. And then this will go around the baby's neck, and I will just have it Velcro there. And there it is. Can you guys believe it? You did it. I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know if I was going to keep doing it. I was pretty damn exhausted myself. It's not an easy pattern. It's definitely not easy to record because so much of it has to be recorded. Unlike the Belle dress, it's like, I'll see you in 100 rows, and you can make such a big part of the project, binge watching something or sitting in a different spot or enjoying the day, drinking a cold beer instead of, staring at a screen. So I give you guys kudos for hanging with me here. So I'm going to sew my ends in and get my Velcro on, and I'm definitely not going to waste any more of your guys' time. Not that I hope your time was wasted, by no means. But let you guys get on with finishing your project up. And I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. This was a real tough one. I know it wasn't hard to do. It was just hard to sit through. And I do appreciate you guys doing it. Good job, everybody, if you made it through. And like always, please like, share, and subscribe. Maybe if I get enough subscribers, I can get a better video camera. That isn't so terrible. Okay, sorry. Thank you again so much. Until next time. And bye-bye.